What's going on, everyone? Matthew, Agent for Life, here with Life Matters, talking about cost of insurance, or actually pricing on life insurance, because there is a whole different topic on cost of insurance. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how much does life insurance cost? And I'm going to give you quotes and run some pricing that I happen to have right here for Arizona. So this is specific, and I know it changes just slightly from state to state sometimes, but Arizona pricing, this can give you a general idea. And I've got some pricing here that I've ran for term, tobacco and non-tobacco, and then whole. So this isn't every scenario. This is intended to just give you a general idea of what you can expect to pay for a life insurance policy. Okay. So here's something, though, to note before I start. In life insurance, there's two worlds. There's two ways of getting insurance coverage. One is non-medically and one is medically. Medically simply means they send somebody out to do all your blood work and to take your vitals and take your weight and go back and do all of the APS reports from the doctor and all that stuff. Okay. Nobody can quote that with any degree of accuracy until after the blood work is being done. So if you're seeing quotes and you're getting an advertisement, for example, that say, hey, you can get $500,000 for $14.95 a month or some ridiculous claim. Well, look at the small print, because number one, that's based on perfect health, which most of us don't have. You might actually think that you're perfectly healthy, but when you go through underwriting, the degree at which they look at every single, you might not have any medication problems or any health conditions, but there might be things going on that you don't even realize. And they catch that in underwriting and rate your policy. It becomes more expensive. So what I'm saying is we're not going into that. I've got a whole different video that talks about medical versus non-medical. So you can watch that to understand. What I'm giving you today are quotes based on non-medical, non-medical policies, which seem to be more and more popular these days because, number one, people don't like sharing all their health information with companies, because it goes out to a medical information bureau and it gets reported there. And a lot of people don't realize that's what's going on. So non-medical is a really nice way to go. And a lot of people appreciate the convenience. However, I will tell you, if you're in really good health and your blood work checks out, you can potentially get better rates going fully underwritten and getting a full medical. So just keep that in mind. So these prices could be less if you're in really good health. But since we don't know, and since the blood work isn't back on anybody's, we're not going to go there, because those are called guesstimates, right? We don't know exactly what the pricing is going to be. These are exact pricing, non-medical, if you're approved. I'm just going to take a spread, for example. These are 20-year term policies. Okay, this first one, $100,000. That's just a starting point. If you're 25, I've got carriers that'll do that anywhere from 15 to 17, 21, 20, 17 to $21 a month. Okay, 100,000, 25-year-old, non-tobacco. That's a 20-year term. Okay. 40 years. If you're 40, you're looking at the 36, 34, 36, 32. Okay. So anywhere from $30 to $40 a month for that. And the reason why I'm giving you a whole bunch of them is because I work with a lot of carriers, and I run pricing and compared, because I'm kind of a geek like that, so that you can, so that I can always know where to go to get the best pricing where I can when I'm talking to my clients. 50 years old, you're going to see pricing start to go like this, because as we age, it affects our the pricing on our policies, which is, by the way, a little side note, the best time to get life insurance is today, because today's the youngest you'll ever be. This is the one product that's always going to go up in price. Always. Okay. It's never not going to go up in price. So don't wait thinking you can get a better rate next year. That's counterproductive. 50-year-old. Best price I've got is about 60 to 65, potentially one here that's 42, but in up to 70. So 60 to 70. By the way, pricing for life insurance is like shopping around for gas. You're going to see that they're all within about $7 or $8, $10, $15 of each other. And, at some point, if you're looking for gas, you're driving around town, at what point does it not make sense to drive, 45 minutes because it saves you 3 cents on the gallon? I don't know. You'll have to decide that. But After a while, their pricing is just very similar. It really comes down to a good fit with your agents, you know, you're being well taken care of, and a good A-rated company, because the pricing is always comparable. The carriers follow a very similar set of underwriting criteria. So the next one, a 60-year-old through one of my carriers here could get a $100,000 policy for 20 years in the $150 to $180 range. Okay, and you can see the spread increases as you age. Now, on a term policy, you can get coverage all the way up to about 75, but it stops making sense. These policies can get real expensive. A 65-year-old, your term coverage for 100,000 is going to be well over $200. Now let's go to tobacco rates. All right, are you a smoker? This is one of the questions that your agent will ask you, and here's why. The rates pretty much double in a lot of cases, especially as you age. 30-year-old, I'm just picking these at random to give you an idea. If you smoke and you wanted a 20-year term, again, this is term, $100,000, you're looking at anywhere from 30, I see a 37, 36, 36, 34, 48, and 31. So pretty close range there in the 30s for your monthly premium. Okay, if you're 40 years old, 68, 67, 70, 64, 77, that's your range for 100,000, 40 years old, 20-year term. If you're 60 and you smoke, check this out, 318, 375, 381. If you smoke and you're in your 60s or so, term is not a good idea. You should back off the size of the death benefit and just get a whole life. But it's available. It's just really expensive. So let's go to whole life. So those are some actual numbers from actual carriers based in Arizona on those criteria that I told you. $100,000 male, by the way. I didn't run female quotes. Female quotes are less expensive than male. And tobacco and non-tobacco. Non-medical 20-year term. That's what I did all those. So whole life, okay, this is permanent coverage, and it's just a small, I just ran 15,000 to show you what that would look like and how that increases over the years. So this is a non-tobacco, male, a non-medical whole life policy for 15,000. Okay, it's also could be considered a final expense policy because it's designed just to cover any final expenses you might have, like funeral costs and things. If you're 55 years old, I could get that policy for as low as about $49, $51 right in there, okay, per month. If you are 60 years old, you're looking at about 60 to 62, 65 right in there. Let's jump up. 70 years old, same 15,000. Now you're going to see the price start to increase quite a bit here. 106, 107, 123, 153. I wouldn't go with that company on that one because that's expensive. If you're 80 years old, yes, you can still get coverage, but it's not going to be cheap. So the same 15,000 now would be 197, looks like my best price, 206, 218, and so forth. So that gives you an idea of some costs, and hopefully I didn't go over that too fast, but if you found something there or somewhere even close to give you a ballpark, you want to finish off the quote based on your specific criteria, okay, we should just talk. And this is why you need to talk to an agent. Online calculators are okay, and they'll get you so far. But an agent, a good agent, someone with your best interest at heart, will do their due diligence, shop around, find the best tool to get the job done for your specific situation. Okay, no amount of automation can replace that. So if you're hearing from your agent or from a life insurance agent on a request, it's not because they're trying to be salesy. When I reach out to people, I'm not trying to hammer them. I'm not trying to swindle them into talking to me so I can sweet talk them into a policy. It's not like that. It's that I need enough information so I can do my job, right? There's a lot of numbers on here. And if I don't have enough information, I'm guessing, which is going to put you in a compromised position if I'm wrong. So I don't want to do that. So anyways, hopefully that at least gives you an idea, because I know some people like to know how much would it cost if I had 100,000 or 50,000 or 300,000 or 2 million. Of course, all those are different factors that are going to weigh in and change your monthly premium. So the type of coverage you're getting, the length of coverage you're getting, the amount of coverage you're getting, and then all the benefits that, or the riders, right? The living benefits, the chronic, critical, and terminal illness rider, accidental death, waiver of premium, child rider. There's a whole bunch of riders or enhancements that you can add into your policy to make it better, but they all cost. And so those all influence the cost. These are basic stripped down policies that would include 20 years, non-medical, and non-tobacco and tobacco. You heard that. So these also factor in that you would pass the height and weight chart. I'm assuming you're at least fairly healthy height and weight, because that's one of the first things we look at in underwriting is your build. And we have different carriers for all those products. So if you're heavier, I've got different people that have friendlier underwriting toward those people. So it just really depends on your specific situation. Hopefully, anyways, I've given you a good idea on what you could expect potentially in your case for the cost or for the monthly premium to be based on one of those scenarios. If you don't quite hear what you want in what I've been saying, the best thing to do is just for us to chat for about 10 or 15 minutes and I can get you the rest of the details. So anyways, thank you for listening. I hope this provides some value and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.